Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely little mixed media card that is going to either belong within this journal that I'm making, a tiny mixed media accordion journal, or it will go into my Isabelle journal. So this is the fairy that Isabelle saw in the woods, and got some other work, but these are a separate video which I will put a link to within the description. So please follow along if you want to see how I made this pretty little card. Thanks for watching. So before I start the next tag, I want to show you this little gift I've treated myself to. Stars and Dream. Guess what's in here? I got it on Amazon and I'm absolutely blown away with what I actually got for the price I paid. So I paid about, I think it was about £11. So I got two, there's one here, of these beautiful glass pens, ink pens. So that's one. There's the other, that's got a wider nib on that one. And there's a little ink pot, a little pen holder. We'll get the pen holder out. And then all these 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 inks. And they are, you see, the sort of shiny, you see, a bit metallic-y. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to use this ink today. See, I've been practicing. So this is a green ink. It's absolutely beautiful, stunning. So, without further ado, I'm going to start. Now, I've been practicing different styles of writing on this paper too. So, because this is the handmade paper with the flowers on, already in, and the leaves, etc. So I thought she would make a really beautiful fairy. She can be leaning on the fern there. So let's get started. Let's bring you in a little bit more. Right, so because the Isabelle Journal is French themed, I want this to be a fairy, for when Isabelle was a little girl, a fairy that she saw in the garden, because I do want sort of, I've said before, my journal will be a story, like a storybook. So here's the fairy she saw in the garden. So I'm going to get the ink. Now I've practiced sort of my cursive writing. I've practiced made up writing, curly whirly made up writing. It's great fun. It's great fun. I've practiced sort of trying to do curly whirly cursive writing. I'm not the neatest writer, that is my problemo. But I thought the more I practice, the better will be. I have actually got 2 books to teach myself calligraphy, and I am working my way through them. So all you do is you get your ink. Now you can dispense it into the little glass pot, but I'm not going to do today. I'm going to take out the stopper. There it is. And I'm going to dip my pen in. Now I'm also going to be writing in French. So I'm not sure what this means. I just got AI to tell me the opening of a fairy story. I assume if I asked AI what it means, it would tell me. But can you see how the ink has been taken up on the pen? It like whirls up. You twist your pen and it just takes up the ink. And then you would just wash it after use. So without further ado, let's get into writing. I did see on YouTube a crafter write behind the images she was going to put on, and it looked fantastic. It looked fantastic, but she was a really elegant and practiced writer. So let's go. So we'll start off with a I. So let's do some curls. And an L. So if you can't read it, don't matter. I can't speak it. I did basic French at school. But also I want it to look like it's old writing. So forgive me. So it's il était un foin au cœur d'une forêt. So I think it's something to do with a forest. Forest, don't you? Or les arbres murmurant, whatever that means. Murmurant. Les secrets. We know what secrets means. Secrets. Or vent. Un petit. Now I'm going to go a little bit over here and you'll see why in a moment. Royan. Right, so I've done my scribbly bits there. That was fun. That was fun. So this, you literally just dip into water or run under the tap. And I'm gonna really practice with these inks. Right, so here's my little girl and she is gonna go over. You see, so that's why I wasn't too bothered about the writing. I wanted it in French, I didn't want it in English. I've got some of this beautiful, beautiful paper from the paper Cameo that belongs to the Isabelle collection. It's actually a letter liner, but I'm just going to use it. And I'm going to use sort of this scrolly bit here. So I'm tearing the bit that I want. The bit that I want. Sacrilege. So many English words come from the French language, did you know that? A lot of French, Latin, German, Scandinavian. That's why English is so very, very difficult actually to learn. So if I put that sort of on there, and put my fairy onto there. So like I say, some of that writing is going to be covered up because wasn't the aim to cover it up, but I knew it would be covered up because it is just one of my layers, one of my many layers. So that's going to go there now. So that pays homage to the Isabelle graphics. Let's get some glue. Maybe I should, I don't know. Maybe I should have a think about where I actually put my camera. Maybe I need to put it there, then you don't see my arm coming across. So we're going to put this on. And the reason I chose green ink is because of the word forest. It's a fairy story, and also this tree and forest. I would even, well, that's where I've always seen fairies when I was a little girl. Don't see as many now I'm grown up. There we go, that's that. That looks nice. Just stick those edges down too. Now I do want to make that pop a little. So what I'm going to do is get a charcoal, and it's it writes on paper, glass, metal, anything. It's an 8046, and I'm literally just going to go around the edge. Am I on screen? Yeah, I'm going to go around the edge of that because I want to make it pop a little bit more than what it is doing at the moment. Oh, that's a flower. Let's come down here. Now when you use these charcoals, you do need to blend them in a bit. So So I'm just gonna use a wet finger and just go around that and gently sort of work that in. And so the charcoal will set as well. I have to be careful there because I don't want to take the ink off. There we go. Yeah, I like that. There we go. Right, wings. I have a box here of fairy wings. Let's see what we can find. Those are going to be too big. Pretty, but too big. You can always cut out and use butterfly wings. This is what I use. This can't remember the name of the paper. I'll put it above. I'll write it on so we know. Well, there's just a wing. Got some other bits and pieces. So this paper, when you apply heat to it, becomes stiff like this. That would be nice to make some wings from. I've got these type of wings. Let's move those out of the way. I've got like the dragonfly wings. I think I got those on Etsy. No, I didn't. eBay. So those would go on the fairy. I think it's always good to have a... quite like those actually. Put those as a maybe. So here's the butterfly. So we'd literally put the little girl on the butterfly. We'll cut the little antennas off. So there's that. Look, that covers up so much. So much of my writing. That's just quite like those. Quite like the colours on that. We'll bring a little bit more over here. You get a little bit more of the writing then. I'm going to look through my box. I've got some pink wings. And again, you would, with these, they're like a little bit see-through. They're like fabric and they're a little bit see-through. So the pink ones, I'll come lower down. We've got some like clear ones here. What would they be like? Well, they're quite nice, aren't they? But they do cover virtually all of the writing. We could put them there. I like those. Really smaller ones. This is nice as well. I love just collecting the fairy wings. I also collect in the winter time. You know now I could cut those. Those are nice, aren't they? I collect, you know, the spinning jennies off the trees. I collect the spinning jennies. So I've got all sorts in here. Oh, there's the other side of the pink one. What do we think of that? Perhaps a little bit too big. I like. Yeah, so spinning jennies I keep. And every now and again I have got making some wings and top my box up. These are I quite like these. They're a smaller wing there, so we do get more of the writing showing. I like them. Right, we'll go for them. What is this paper called? Angelina film. There it is. There it is. So I've made quite a large, well, he's not large, he's about a foot, is he about 10 inches tall, pixie, fairy, and I'm going to have a go at making some wings for him, so I'll probably put that on here. So just have a box that I've decorated, just as fairy wings. Oh, right, oh, there's a set there, they're everywhere. Right, shall we put these on, yeah? So we'll just get some glue, and I'm going to use this PVA, which dries clear. Put that on the back of the wings. Should I have stuck them on my little girl first? I'm not sure. Let's put them up here. There we go. That looks nice. My little girl. Sorry, let's just go around in my espresso. And I was trying to think, how can I incorporate a fairy into this French Isabelle journal? And then I thought, well, perhaps if Isabelle, when she was a little girl, saw a fairy in the woods. So I thought, yay, we'll do that. We'll do that. Then I was going to write Once Upon a Time, you know, the traditional sort of fairy tale beginning. But then I thought, no, we need it in French. Let's pop her on there. Lovely. Lovely, I really like that. Now I want to put some, I need to practice my writing. Don't all shout out, yeah, you do at once. So I need to put some, I think I want to put something on her. What can we put on her? Can we put a little bit of lace on? Does she want covering with a piece of lace, maybe? So that we'll lift it up, and there she is. Could do that, couldn't we? Or do we just need to put some, this lace has been, I've stiffened this with matte medium. That's a pretty one to put on. It's a shame it's not longer, that one. Or do we just do one that hasn't been stiffened? Do we just do something on a dress? Do we just colour a dress? Do we cut that out and put that? Oh, we could do, couldn't we? Yes, we will. We'll do that. We'll put her a nice lacy dress on. Because I think that shape will just fit to what we want. So let's just cut around that flower. And we'll cut around. And that's going to be long enough. So this is some antique lace that I am using in the journal. So that would go, if I gather it up, that could be her dress. It needs to be a bit shorter. I know her arm's there as well, but you can still see her arm through. So if we make that her dress, so let's get the old Fabri-Tac. You could always watercolour that, the little person in as well. Those are the Tim Holtz little people. But I'm just going to do this just to add some dimension to the fairy. So we just put that around the neck part, a bit of glue, and we would gather up the top of the dress there, and you could stitch that if you want to do, or you could be very brave like me and just put it into the glue there and just hold it down a minute. So can you see how all the layers? So we've got the paper, we've got the leaves, the petals that are on there, we've got some writing, we've got a piece of the graphics there, we've got the fairy, we've got the lace. So we're getting quite a few layers. So there's a dress. That looks pretty, doesn't it? Yeah. I could cut that off, but do I cut it off? What do you think? Yeah, I think we'd cut that off. That's better. There we are. So we could add a little bit of sparkle around her neck if we chose to. Just a few little, I think I will do. So she's going to actually only need, let's take it to there, actually. I love decorating with jewellery. Right, let's pop that on there. I've got some 3-in-1 because it was a bit cheaper, but it's a smaller bottle, so I've not really benefited at all. Right, so let's just pop that around her neck. We could put them on individually if we'd have wanted to. There we go. I'm not going to glue that down, that's left up there. Shall we bring it in at the waist? Yep, I think we will. So we'll just put some glue here. I'm going to put the glue at the waist. There we go. If you can hear any water in the background, I've just bought a lovely little sort of water fountain, a water feature to put outside my craft room. I love it. So we'll just bring that in at a waist there. I'll just hold it a minute. Let's squash it down a bit. I'm always frightened of letting go in case it just goes ping. Oh, I like that better now. So we can see her arm. So tuck that in at the waist. Oh, it looks gold, but it says ancient bronze. I just want the fine tip. Let me just check this out. Let's get a bit of paper and check it. Oh, we can do it on there, can't we? Right, so I'm going to go around, all around the edge with some dots like this. So all around the edge of my fairy. Just with some gold dots. You could do some doodles. You could do whatever you want to. Little love hearts. I'm just going to go with dots. And only around my fairy. There's her feet. Around. And up. Then I'm going to do another layer actually, because I like that. Just going round again. This is great to do as well with a white pen. But I just thought, as it's our fairy, she deserves some gold. And then I'm going to go again. So we get 3 layers around her. Love that. And I've got my gold paint, my favourite gold paint, which I've highlighted some of the pages and letters and things within the journal with this liquid metal. I love it. Narrower brush. So I've got my what is it? Vallejo liquid metal. And I'm going to just try my best to open it. There we go. Got it. Okay, so in great Sharon Alexander style, I managed to spill some. Anyway, as I opened it, it's such a difficult lid to get off. And yeah, I always spill some. So I've got my very fine brush, and I am literally going to just take the gold around the edge. Can you see it soaking in there? This is because it's handmade paper. It's very porous. I'm not talking, it's because I'm concentrating. I'm just going, dabbing it. Try not to actually go on the paper, I'm just dabbing it at the side, but it is. Soaking in, which I quite like that effect. A bit more down there. So I really, really do like that. Put the lid back on that before I have any more accidents. So there we go. There she is, finished. Should we put some of those across her waist? Some of those, do you think? Let's have a look what we think. Yes, I think so. Sorry, I've put those on there. Then these I've just sort of been manipulating and squeezing round to get that shape. So it's not just a straight line across the neck. That's there. It actually does remind me of the sort of thing a little girl would have worn in the 18th century in England. And I think that is really pretty. So let's just tidy this up. So here we go, much prettier background. So there she is, finished, and I think she looks rather beautiful. Let's just get the little journal. So I'll put a link to these which I made yesterday, this one and this one. So she's younger there, so if we do some sort of chronological age, that would probably go about there. We would probably put this in about there, and this little journal is going to look superb. I will put the link to how I did these, but this one here, I'm really pleased with that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, that would be absolutely wonderful. Thank you.